Good morning, everyone. Hope you'll have a nice week. I'm starting my week. This is a lovely Monday morning. It's very cold here in Northampton. However, we've got quite a nice bluish sky. But I'm here crafting. And what I decided to do today is on a Sunday, every Sunday, I host a club where it's only £5 to join. And we do make cards. Sometimes we use USBs, but Sundays I'm going to leave it to make something different. And what I did yesterday was made this card. Now I showed my ladies, the group I had, how to make it, which is what I'm going to show you. But I left it open for them to use whatever papers they wanted, whatever design, flowers, shoes, whatever they wanted to put on it, they could put on it. And then what I did on the inside, I set it up with a die and a happy birthday, which I foiled on my glitter machine. We had a lovely time making this card, and I thought, what if I make a video to show everybody what we did? So, with no further ado, I'm going to tell you what we're going to need. We are going to need 2 pieces of a 12 by 12, card. They don't necessarily have to be 12 by 12, but whatever pattern you need a large 12 by 12, or maybe 2 or 3 A4, so you can use any paper you want. But for this particular card, I'm going to do it the same as that one. I have a 12 by 12 book, whereby I have the plain design and the foiled pattern. Here goes. I've got the foiled side and I've got the plain side. And I'm going to use these to use on my card. I haven't decided yet whether it's going to be this one or that one, because I do like this. And like most crafters, I tend to say, oh, leave it for that special card. And probably that's what I'll end up doing. So I'll do these two instead. Now, what else did we need? We needed 2 cards. We need one is an 8 by 8, and one is a 6 by 6 card. And I'm going to show you as well what to do and how to do them. Now, for the sizes, yes, if you've got dies, you can cut them using a die. I used my favorite machine, which is my Scan and Cut. I use it all the time. And I created a couple of designs, a file. So we needed 2 strips. Now I did 2 because I did one on the inside. But if I do one with you, since this is going to be left white, I'm going to leave this side white, where they can either write, excuse me, a message, whom it's coming from. But I'm going to leave it white because it is quite a heavy card to post. I'll be giving this to someone by hand. So what you do, I'm going to cut a set of these, and I also did the stitching using my Scan and Cut. I need one which is slightly smaller than an 8 by 8 matte and layer. So matte and layer, slightly smaller, and then matte and layer, slightly smaller than a 6 by 6. So that's the first thing we need to do. So I'm going to leave my card, my 6 by 6 is going to stay as is, but my 8 by 8, I'm going to turn it over. Like so, open it up. Take the right hand side and I'm going to fold it alongside that edge. That gives me the mark where the center is. And then I'm going to take my caterpillar. You can use anything you have. And I'm going to cut that bit out. Let's cut that out. I will keep that because I will use it for like 300 TSM. So I'll use it for something else. And that is the side of my card. That's the first bit I had to do. Now, the next bit is cutting these to place them where they need to go. I also have, sorry, I forgot to bring them out. I also got some plain card matching the color of what I'm using. Okay, so I'm going to use those to make my mats. Now, if I open on our Scan and Cut, we do have our own software. Now, if you use anything else like the Cricut machine, I don't know much about it because I never had the chance to try it out. But I'd love to have one to unbox one day, but whoever knows. So, what you've got, you can measure. If you don't have Scan and Cut, you can make your own, even in Scan and Cut canvas. I've measured the sizes. So I've got a 4x8 and an 8x8. And what I did my design 7.7 for that by 7.7, gives me a square there. And then the smaller one, I did it 7.2 by 7.2. And again, I did that on here. Now, I can use the file I had yesterday, or I can quickly show you what you can do. I'll show you, I think. So if you take let's have a quick look. If I take a box, maybe that one would do. Let's see how that looks on here. It's going to be scalloped. If you wanted to do it and you don't have the files that I'm using here, what you need to do is change that to a 7.7. Then do one that goes slightly inward and change it to a dashed line and draw line. So you create your lines, okay? And then you make it again, both of them, tiny bit smaller to create the layer, okay? I'm going to use the file I had from yesterday. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring up the file that I used. So if I go to File and open Recent, I think that's the designer paper one. I've got some more. So let me go and open. Hold on. And I need the 5.7 square. I'm going to open it. Right. So that's the file I'm going to need here. If I make the size, it says 5.7. That's the one that's going to go on here, on the 6x6. So I can cut it from here. And then while that's doing, I'll open the other one. So next step, I need one of my mats. Now, although this was a fairly new mat, I think I've only started using it last week. And yes, I can do that and it will stick to it. Personally, because a lot of my ladies will go, oh no, the mat's just taking it off and I've got to start again, or I haven't got any more of this paper left. So what I tend to do, let me show you. I tend to place it on there, press it down as you would, and then I take a couple of pieces of masking tape, which I will then place on my mat like so. A little bit down at the bottom there, and at least that's gonna not now move. So I'm gonna feed it into my Scan and Cut. First I have to press OK, Now, I am assuming this is not a scan and cut lesson, so I am assuming people would know how to use their scan and cut here, okay? Because I'm not doing a scan and cut session, I'm making the card. So what I'm gonna do is send my file export to my machine, and then I'll pick it up on the machine here. I always tell my ladies that at night with the light I can't show them what I'm doing, whereas here in the dark during the day it's a little bit clearer. Maybe I talked a little bit too early. So anyway, I've got the design. I know it's gonna fit. So the first thing I'm gonna do is draw my lines. So let's bring out my pen. You can do it with any color, anything you want. I'm gonna do it with my pen. I've got one, I was using it yesterday here, but I didn't put it back where it should have gone. Let's see if it's still on my desk from yesterday. I can't see it. Okay, so I'm gonna use something else today. Choose one of the ones that come with the machine. I'm gonna do a blue line. I need my normal. I'm using the one that comes with the machine. I'm gonna use my normal pen holder. Blue color. What I'm gonna do there. So what you do with that, you just open it up. Now, the cap goes in there so you don't lose it. You then open this one up, drop your pen in it, close it, and that's all it takes. I'm gonna replace my cutting blade with my drawing tool. So, and I'm gonna start the drawing process. So I'm gonna go, okay, choose draw. It takes a minute or so, and I'm gonna draw it. So I'm gonna say, okay. It's not holding down, I don't know why. So that's done. Now I'll take my pen out and remember to close them. If you don't close them, they'll dry up, and they are very good. I mean, I had these for years and they still work. So they're quite good. Now I'm gonna use my blade. So I've got on my machine, I've put it at 7, but it depends on your machine. So I'm now going to go, okay, select cut, and now it takes the other outline and it's gonna cut it. And let's say again, it said it's gonna take a minute to do. Now I've checked that it's all been cut, which it has, and I've got my first piece. Now I'm going to get the mat out and do my second large piece. I mean, from there, if I wanted to, I know I can also get in. Let me do it. Why waste? I say. From there, I can get the other piece, this side for the big 8 by 8. If I send that to my machine, I'm going to open the file. I'm going to open the one that says 7.77. No, by 3, it's this one I need. I think that's the one. Single, that's what I need. I'm going to check the size because I know I had a slightish problem yesterday. I'm going to change it, leave it 7.7, but that 8.7, I'm going to change it to, 3.87. I'm going to do it 3.5. Because I wanted it a little bit smaller. It doesn't matter. Like so, it's going to work anyway. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that one, group it, Control G for anybody who wants to group quickly, and I'm going to send it to my machine. And again, let's see what's going to happen here. I'm going to go OK. OK. Bring the pattern in. My pattern is in. I'm going to scan where my paper is because I need it on this side. And now that I can see it on here, let's see if I can show you. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to drag them all that way. So like so, if I just zoom in a little, it's got enough up at the top. Make sure if you use tape like I do, your design, your dashes are not gonna hit the tape. So if you think it's gonna hit the tape up here, just move a little, cut a little bit off, because you wouldn't want it to draw on your tape. If you draw on the tape, what will happen? You'll end up with less, without the design on your card. I'm gonna take that off a little. And here as well, if you think it's gonna touch it, just take a bit off that tape, like so. So now I know it's not gonna hit my tape. It's within the area, so again, I'm gonna start firstly by the draw. So again, I'm gonna place my pen inside, put it in here, try to see if I can get it. When I use the different ones, with the pen that's all right. With anything else, it tends to keep coming up. I'm going to solve that problem because when it keeps coming up, what happens, it actually when that keeps coming up, what will happen, it will be looser, so your line colors will not be as strong as when it's down. So what I did, I just put a bit of tape. I've never done that before, so I've put a bit of tape on and I'm going to test it out with the tape. So first thing, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go to draw, and that should do me the lines only. So I'm going to start with the draw there. I've got to do it to the bottom next time. At least it's holding it and you can see the lines coming out really nice. But what I do next time, I need to, I don't know whether I can hold it down because it keeps going up and down. So maybe it wasn't one of my best ideas. seems to have worked. So take that off. It would have gone up that much. So by holding it there, yes, it went up and down, but it stayed more or less down. I'm just going to leave that there. Now I'm going to take that off. I'm finished with, oh no, I'll use it again, but I always close it. If you don't close it, what will happen? You will lose, it will dry up. Now I'm going to cut. Again, I'm going to go back in. Okay, this time I choose cut rather than draw, and I see one line, and I'm going to cut. It's going to take a minute again. Like so. Let's get it off, because I think I've got just the corner did not cut completely. So I'll just cut it out. The scissors, don't try to pull it because you'll tear it. So just take the scissors and just cut it off. And that came off anyway. So there you go. That's going to be the bit that's going to go on my side of the big card. So let's see what we've got so far. What we have, that piece is going to be stuck on there. Okay, I'm going to get some glue. I like to use Collall glue. I find it quite nice, and it's easy to clean if it goes on hands or anything like that. Like Collall glue, but I buy it by the gallon because I think it's a lot. It comes a lot cheaper. It lasts me for ages, so I tend to buy it by the gallon. But I love my Collall. I used to buy the small ones, as you see. I've even got the bottles. Then I started buying the 1 liter, 15 pounds it used to be at the time. And then I wanted to see, and they said they stopped the 15 liter, the 1 liter one. And at the time, I thought, well, if they stopped it, I'm not buying anymore. So what I did, I looked for a gallon and I found it. And I've never bought any ever since then. Now, well, I bought 2. I'm on my 2nd gallon. That's how much I use it. My 2nd gallon. So I'm going to just put some glue on there, and that's going to be stuck onto there. And so far, so good. Now, what I'm missing next is I need the inside for this, which is an 8 by 8 or 7.7 size. So I'm going to do that next. Now, let's get the mat out. Place that to stick it on there. And again, I'm going to put some tape on the side. I always do because it does, especially with card, I find that it sometimes does not hold it. So what I do is I just tape it down a little. It's not going to harm my project. Not going to do any harm to my machine. Make sure you put it on. Don't leave any edges because you don't want it to be rolled up into your machine. But I find it works perfectly well. I always do it anyway. Now, my other file. So let's go back to our canvas. And I'm going to bring in my open, and I'm going to bring in my 7.7. I'm going to bring it in. Saved the one before because I changed the size slightly, didn't I? So there you go, 7.7. And I'm going to send it down to my machine. Export to my machine. And it's now directly into my machine. So let me get you looking at that. And I'm gonna pick up the new file, which comes straight into there. That's how good that machine is. I love it. Now I'm gonna cut and draw. So first you draw. Don't cut, because if you cut and then draw, what will happen is it will move. It can move because then it's not stuck with any tape or anything. And if it moves, your design might not go on place. It's all right if you've got a lot of the same paper, but if you don't, you can end up with a little bit of a problem there. So now I knead it downwards. Put it down like that and see what happens. So I'm going to start drawing this one. So again, make sure I'm going to just scan my mat to make sure it's going to go draw on the right place. There's no tape in the middle. And it looks, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna leave it. Let's quickly go in and check the tape. So just quickly going to check whether the tape is gonna be drawn on upon. Now, because it's beyond the cut area, let's check up here. And again, no, it's not gonna be drawn upon, so I'm all right where it is. I'm gonna say okay. And okay, and if it does, I know how to sort it. So I'm gonna go okay, and I'm gonna draw first. Even when I do my folds, I don't use the dashed line, because the dashed line, I find that it then can easily tear when you open and close. What I tend to do is use my embossing tool, because it's got like the one we use in a scoring board, and I draw my lines straight down, and it will work perfect for me. It always does. So that's the next step we did. Take that off, and I truly don't need this anymore now. I think we finished with it. I'm sure I didn't do any more. No, that's it. So I'm gonna cut my design now by going on okay and cut. See, you got draw, you got cut. I'm gonna cut. 1 minute. That's actually appropriate. I didn't put the blade in. It's a clever machine. It knows. I say okay, and I'm gonna go cut. I'll make sure it comes up easily. If you've got any piece, I've got a tiny slip of tape there and a tiny bit of tape down here. Look, you can see it. I'm just going to take it off, and that's my design done. So for now, should have taken the mat out, but I didn't. Let's get it out. For now, I can rest that over there. And I'm going to stick this to my inner part of the card. And as you can see, it will give me a nice little edge all the way around. So I'm going to put the tape on, the glue on. This afternoon, I've got another lesson. It's affinity, using it the way we use Craft Artist. And it is funny because I still have to think about the lesson And I don't know why I'm doing this rather than doing that, but I know I've got something in mind, so I'm sure I'll be all right this afternoon. So that goes there. I'll check my diary because sometimes they ask me for something and I then say, oh, right, next week we'll do that. So I'll check that as well. So now the next step is this will be stuck on there. But before we do, we need to cut our paper. What's going to be nice on there. So I've got a designer, a file called designer paper. That's all done and ready. And it should work on here. Now, the only thing is I need to check if it was 7 point, if I did it 3.5 on here, I need to make sure that my file is a little bit smaller when I bring it in here. So I'm going to check it first. So I'm going to bring in file, open, and I'm going to get that design paper one. And I say, okay, open. Now this one, oops, is 3.5. So I need it slightly narrower because it needs to be about 2.3. So what I'm going to do is make it 3. You need half an inch. Let me think. So we're doing it from 7.7 to 7.2.5 of an inch. So I'm going to do 0.5 of an inch here as well. So I'm going to do 0 there. Don't worry, I always say, if it goes wrong for whatever reason, it's only a piece of card. So don't panic, don't worry. If you worry about losing a piece of card, you never end up doing anything. Because you're always worried, what if I use the nice paper and it goes wrong? If it goes wrong, you've got a piece of scrap to do something else with. That's the way I tend to reason things out. I'm going to cut those there. Take the tape off. That's it. That's another piece of scrap that I'm sure I can use something with. So let's now get you back to see what I'm doing, really. So let's just send that off to my machine. Now, although my machine is closed, I can still transfer it. And now I switch my machine on, and that would be the file that would come up. Need to really give it a good clean. It's well used and I've used my machine. There you go. I got 2 of them. I always use this one. So I still got another one, new one. So I'm going to go and get the putter. You need to give it time for the internet because it was switched off. Now I can bring my pattern in. It's retrieving. I should have 2 files on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place that just about right there. I've got the 2 files ready. Now I think I might have just done a little mistake seeing it on there. So I'm going to go back onto my file and check it out. Not sure, but I'm going to test to see if it stayed. No, it stayed 7.2. So now I am fine. I thought on there it looks a little bit smaller. And I thought, Susan, you had the relative ratio on. But no, I didn't. So I know I've done it right. A bit of tape. I'm going to be left with some of this down here. So there it goes. If anything goes wrong, I've still got a piece I'd be able to do it from. And I'm going to put it into my machine again. And now I'm going to go draw first. Draw. Do we have draw on this one? I'm not going to draw. I'm just going to cut these ones. So I'm going to say, okay. Did I do it on here? Oh, no, I did draw it on there. Why am I thinking I didn't? It's on the foiled one I didn't draw. So for that one, that's fine. I'm gonna draw them. I'll do it exactly like we did it yesterday. And then my ladies that missed the session yesterday because of other things they had will still be able to do what we did. So Mondays morning, if I'm not working, I will be doing some to show you what we've done, but it's nothing compared to being together, chatting away and doing this project. So if anybody would like to join my class on a Sunday, it's from 1:30 in the afternoon. It goes till about sometimes 5, even 5 o'clock. So it's a whole afternoon and it only costs a fiver. So let's have a look and see how it goes. So I'm going to draw first. So I go, okay, draw. And I'll wait for them. It's going to take 2 minutes to draw that. We're nearly there. I'm so used not to have to put that anymore. Not, I forgot about it. You know what? I'm going to stop it. Quit drawing, and I'm going to draw again. Because if you see, halfway through, it did not draw because the thing was going upwards. I'm going to draw again. Because it's in the same place, it will draw on top of it, giving me the right lines. There it goes. It's drawing now. Just took that tape off because I thought it was going to mark my design. Right? So that's been done. Now, don't take it out because you still need to cut it. So I'm going to take my machine, take my pen and sort that out first, close it, because otherwise it will dry up. And I'm going to bring in my pen, my cutting tool, and I'm going to go, okay, and cut this time. And cut should take only 1 minute. I'm going to cut them around. Of course, it's a little bit big. Oh no, it should be all right. Let's have a look and see whether it's a little bit too big. If it's big, we can still make it a bit smaller. I'm just wondering on my sizes there. Let's have a look. Or maybe not. Oh no, that is perfect. Look at that. If you see there, that's going to fit perfectly on my card, which is what I don't know why sometimes I think, have I done the right one? But I did. I did do the right one. I'm going to stick that. just putting enough glue. I love using glue because when you use tape or double-sided tape or double-sided foam pads, when the glue dries, it will come off. But with these glues, when you do liquid glue, it doesn't. And I've got the other piece. Hopefully that's the right size. If not, I've got another one. There goes. And that is the right size too. So they're going to go there. I'm going to put some glue on here. Again, I'm doing it a step at a time. Now, I know some people would cut everything and then tell you, oh, do this. But I wanted you to see, because when you see me do it, it's different to when you just have all the pieces cut ready and you just stick them on and it looks so easy. When it's, you need to know what you are going to have to do. So that's been done. So that's my first one. Now I've got this one. All I need is the bit that's going to go on front of it, and then I'm ready with my machine. I won't need the machine. Yeah, I'll use other tools and I'll show you how I did the inside. Now with these, I always cut very small pieces out. Now I'll keep something like that because you can have a sentiment on there. You can cut a bit to make a small card. So if I threw those away, a lot of people that use scraps will not like me at all. I am a scrap hoarder as well. And then I'll do cards and foiling with them and all sorts. Now, next one, I'm going to get a piece from here. So I want the same design. I'm going to be left with quite a bit of this, but it does not matter because I can use it. What I like to do with my scrap pieces, with pieces I'm left with that I might not use on a big card anymore, what I tend to do with them is I make small A6 cards. Now, I'm not a fan of A6 cards, but you know what? When you make them, they really, really could turn out nice. I was astounded one day because I did a few for a charity and I couldn't believe what nice work came out of it. Now, yes, it's small card, but what I do, I tend to make them, keep them in my handbag. Let's just save that file first because I've changed the size. So file, open. I keep them in my handbag saying with big thank you on them. And inside I'll have a message saying thank you for doing a good job. So if we go to a restaurant, if we go to a hospital appointment, whatever it is that we end up going to, I tend to keep them in my handbag. And if somebody did a good job, helped me out, did something for me, I just take one out and say, here you go. And it makes their day. I say, I made it for you. And they really like that. A lot of people do appreciate that. So that's another good idea of what you can do with cards that you make from maybe even scraps, doesn't matter. As long as they look nice and they say thank you, someone, especially if people don't know how to make cards, they really appreciate it. What I'm going to do this time, I'm going to just cut. So straight away, I'm going to go, okay, cut. I'm going to cut it from up here. We're nearly there. That's now going to go and be stuck on that one. So let me get my mat out, close my machine, and move it out of my way. I don't need it anymore. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a bit of glue on here. Morning, sweetie, I'm recording. Do that. I'm going to stick it in the center there. That's going to be the bit of my card, the front. Now, next bit is you're going to decide whether you want it on the side like that. I like it in the middle. So I'm going to place it in the middle there. Now it depends. If you're going to do a big design there on the side, you need to make it with flowers or something. You need to make sure you do it on the side. But I'm going to do my design mainly on this front bit. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it so that it comes in the center. Again, take my card, put some glue on the back of this card. I'm just going to stick it in the center of my card, something like so. Okay. So that is now the end of my card there. Then you can decorate it however you wish. Now, I'm going to decorate it with, but somewhere in here, I've got a lot of ready cut pieces, okay? But yesterday I noticed I also had some beautiful dies. So I had things like that one, which I can have there if I wanted to. Just make sure it's behind. But one other one I like was that one. So I can place that one there, look in the middle. Some ladies that do like to have a lot of ladies like shoes, that would look really nice on there. If I do that, then on the side, I have also got some leaves that would match the leaves around that shoe. Or you wanted something, you can have something like, now that's a bit too big for that. So I'm going to do that one. Just having a look around to see if there's anything I might want to put on this other side. But even have some flowers on the other side there. So when you open it, it has the flowers there, right? So you can do, ooh, I beg your pardon. I thought I was showing you. So there you go. I'm brought in. I've got a lot of these dies ready cut, look. Beautiful. So you can decide what it is you would like. I might leave it there empty like that. Have to choose there. Maybe a sentiment like happy birthday on there. Now, yesterday I did a lovely happy birthday. The only problem is I can't remember where it is. So you can do anything that the person you're giving the card to might like. Let's have a look. I did a nice birthday yesterday. Because I was, here it is. Did I stick it in there? No. So I might want to have happy birthday there, stuck like that, and the shoes down at the bottom there. And that would make a lovely card. In fact, that's all I'm going to do on this one. You can have flowers, you can have anything on the inside, but I'm going to do another one of these happy birthdays to stick inside, and I'm going to show you how I did this one, because they look nice. And some people would wonder, how do you do that? So I'm going to show you. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to put those on top of here. Now for this, I am going to use double-sided foam pads again. let's see what we've got. Got these, let's cut these off. 1, 2, for the happy birthday. On there. I'm going to do it just about in that corner up there. So that's going to stick on there, okay? Now I'm going to do the same with this. And if you want, if you have 2 of these already cut, which I think I might actually have. Oh yes, I've got more than 2. Another thing I can do, can you see in between where the dies went, there is a little bit extra. So if I just get them out like so, you could use the scissors to just cut it along there. Just cutting it along here. And now take that and align it on top, and that makes it 3 dimensions. So I'm layering it, okay? Now another thing, don't stick it down here. It needs to be on this middle part because that's the bit that's gonna open. So make sure it's all on there. You don't want to do it off that area. So I'm gonna start off with this one. Now, I also like to use, but not when I'm doing the demonstration, I like to use Pinflair glue for these because they will align very nicely. However, saying that, I don't use it when I'm doing demonstrations because it unfortunately takes a little bit of a long time to dry. And I also find that if it's a lot of layers and I can't wait for a layer to dry before I stick another one, I find that it will squish it down. So although I love Pinflair glue for layering, I tend to not use it when I'm doing a video, okay? So I need to squish it down to stop, and that squishes down the glue. But when you do it off camera, I call it, then I do use Pinflair because it's nice and I have time to let it dry. Never mind. So I've had some other bigger pieces. There it goes. I found a lot of these. I've got some of this good one. Take a couple of pieces, stick them on here. Place them on there, like so. And that's going to be the front of this card. There you go. Isn't that already beautiful? Now, one day, one of my ladies said, Susan, I've got these 3D dies from Tatted Days. How do we use them? So what I did this. I'm going to show you because I kept it and I used it on the inside of my card. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you because a lot of people would have this. And unfortunately, not everybody uses what they have. So my mission has always been, since pandemic actually, to get people to use what they have. We forget what we have because we've got so many things. We forget what we have. So I'm going to take a bit of a white 300 GSM card. Now that card, look, I printed and it went wrong. Don't worry. Don't throw it away. You can still place that there. And I'm going to place that here. Now, one good thing I recently discovered is the press and seal. It's this one. And although I used to see it in America, I managed to get it here in the UK from Amazon. So it's press and seal. What I'm going to do, I cut a bit, and you can reuse it whenever you want. I place my dies exactly how I want it. And I'm going to just place that on top, press it down to seal it in place. And now the paper will not get damaged when I cut. I can get it off when I want. My dies won't move, they will be in place. And that's exactly what I need. So I'm going to cut that off. Let's not cut that bit off. And I'm going to pass it through my die cutting machine. Now I've got several of these. I recently changed this one because I'm using it with my glimmer machine and it was giving me a problem with overfoiling my other one, so I thought I'll try this instead. Now I'm just going to cut a little bit more off there. I'm going to cut it through here. I'll show you what I'll do next. I'm going to run it through like so. And backward. That's being. Now, I'm going to leave the outside one where it stands. Let's just get this off a little. I need that to stay where it is. That came off. Now I need to take this off. The edge. Taking my edge off, but I'm leaving that where it stands. Because I'm going to place it there. Now, firstly, I'm glad I did because look, it has not completely cut all the way through. Now, when that happens, what I tend to do, I've got, sorry if there's any Arsenal fans, I've got these Arsenal books and I've been finding them really, really great to place like so and pass it like so, and that will make it cut a lot better. Let's do it once and see how that goes. So. And that seems to have cut it quite good. Okay, but now I need to pass it. Let's have a look and see how it's doing. I'm going to pass it through a putting mat on. Now, sorry, I forgot I had to do that, so I need to find my. There it is. I don't know whether this fits on there. It does, so that's fine. I like to be prepared, and I worry when I'm not. So I'm going to take one of these off, place that there. Now I'm going to place my piece here. I'm going to see if it will go through. It does. So what that's doing, that is going to press it through my die. Let's just do it, make sure it goes through the whole way. Let's just press it outwards, it's easier for me. So that brought up all the 3D parts into the die, okay? And you see how it debossed it or embossed it into here? So now I'm going to take this off. And it does not damage your paper. So next step is getting this machine out of the way for me. I forget I've put it on the floor. Not the first time. I nearly fell over something I left there. Now I'm going to take my ink. And with my ink and the brush, I'm just going to go. Let's put a piece of rough paper there. I don't want to dirty all my glass. I'm going to go from there to there. If you start away, it shall be better. A little bit there, go there, and then go on the sides there. Turn it round, take it from there to get the majority of the ink, so it won't be too dark. I go there, and again, I'm going to go there. And I just did it too dark, but it does not matter. And don't worry about how it looks at the moment. I'm also going to go a little bit on the inside. So again, do it there, then you go there, and just go over onto the inside, because I'm going to do a card. I'm going to do a sentiment on it. Now I need to get this off. When you get this off, some of it is cut and some of it isn't. So let's have a look and see what that's going to do to it. There you go. So now it's just cleaning the bits that need to come off. And I do that by using one of my pocket tools. Anything that's stuck, you see them all the way around and you say that needs going off. So yes, they are colored, but you know what? You don't need them. Look, that all comes off. They come off. Take that bit off. So a bit of patience goes a long way. And there you go. Look how beautiful that turned out to be. Now, there's the design there, look. Now I'm going to stick that. So let's clean my desk quickly, because I don't like working on a messy desk. Anything that's ready with, just chuck it in the bin. I've got a bag that I need it. I always chuck things in. This I will clean in a minute. When I clean these, I take a bit of paper, and I've got some, I recently bought some 80-gram paper. It was really cheap. Somebody was saying a whole box, and they came to about £3 a pack of 500. And I don't use it for printing, so I use it for doing things like this. If I need to clean that, I just do it on it. I use it for all sorts of, because it is very thin. I bought this 80 grams to GSM only because I didn't know, they didn't know what size it was. And I thought it does not matter, it's cheap and I can use it for all sorts of things. So now I'm going to take that, I'm going to place it in the center of my card there. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue around. I still got a couple of points I need to take out. So I'm going to do that before I put the glue on. This one there. These are little like part of the harlequin on there. And I like to just clean it all up before I place it on. That's it. That should do the trick. Now, I'm going to stick this on there and in the center. So now I need to make, and I'll be finished, my little sentiment. And I'm going to show you, for those of you that have bought a glimmer machine, a press and go, one of the machines we had, and you left it there thinking, oh yes, I saw it, I liked it, I don't know how to use it, and you put it on a shelf and leave it there. I am going to show you how easy it is to make a sentiment with your press. And well, I've got a glimmer machine, but they're all the same. So whichever machine you have, you're going to be able to do this very easily. Look, I did that yesterday in my class. I'm going to show you as well. And then those who didn't come to the class may not necessarily miss out on anything. So I'm going to place it there, plug it in, and I've got my, oh, that's thank you. We want happy birthday. So I've got another die that will cut my happy birthday out. Let's see what I've done with that. Goodness, I don't know where I've put it yesterday. While that's warming up, here it is. I was going to say, I'm going to look for it. I keep them all in a box, so I can easily find what I need. So that's been done. I'm waiting for this button to go green. That's how long it takes. But before, while I'm waiting, I'm going to get a piece of my bluish foil. And the reason I'm doing it that color, because it really matches well with my color paper I selected. It's hot here, sweetie, go away. Right, let me do you some room, hold on. My cat decided to come and wants to go on her box when I'm half my rubbish is on her box. So there you go, her place, her cushion. She comes and sits near me when it's warm and nice here. So what you need to do, the die needs to be upwards and the beautiful part of your foil needs to kiss the die. Now this is a little bit too big. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. I'm going to place it there. Now I've got a couple of pieces where, let's see if I can use the other one. That's a better one because this looks like it's got some scratches and that might affect my project. So I'm going to put it like so. Now I need a bit of what I was left with from the cutting design because I wanted that color and I'm going to place it there. I'm going to close that and wait till that button goes green. Now the first one you do takes a little while. When I switch it on, I tend to do more than one. Why? Because to do another one, you're not going to have to wait those few minutes that you do when you have to start. However, saying that, I'm just going to not worry about it. And this time around, I'm not going to do two. I'm just going to do one. This is hot, sweetheart. Don't go on my machine. Go on, off you go. You don't know where you're going to jump. Whoa, good. Sorry about my cat, but she believes that this house belongs to her. And that's it. We just have to live around her instead of she lives around us. But there you go. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Now, while I'm waiting, if you liked what you see, please do leave us a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to my channel, because I will do more if I see people are enjoying this. Also, can I say, if anybody is interested in joining my Sunday club, just drop me a line and I will give you the details. You don't have to come every Sunday. You can come whenever it is you like. We do a project every Sunday, and like this Sunday, we didn't have to, everybody did their own design. So as you see, it's the principle I teach you of a card, and then you can end up with two different cards, similar, but different, in a different way. So I could give that to a friend who's mad about shoes. I could give that to my mother-in-law, who loves a cup of tea, and she loves flowers and birds. So, you know, it's very versatile what you do with them. I'm gonna wait for this. Now this is getting warm, so it will soon light up. When this machine lights up, for those that don't know, you have to wait a minute for it to be ready. And then once it's ready, I will pass it through. In fact, let me get it sorted. It needs to go back in place. I'll have to run it through and just tidy up a little while I'm waiting. I do that because when you do that, you don't see the time. When you're just looking at it, waiting for the green light to come on, it's really like, oh goodness, it's going to take me forever. So in the meantime, I tend to just tidy up a little. I'm going to bring my machine ready to my, there it goes. So that's one green. So now I'm going to press the other one. It will keep flashing till it goes stationary. When it stops, I know my machine is ready. What I then need to do is pass it through my Big Shots and things. These machines, they've got their own die cutting machine that goes with it, but they've made it so you can use it with a Big Shot, the Sizzix. So they did different machines you can use it on. There are some that will only go through, like I think one of my ladies, but I'm not 100% sure on this, but one of my ladies, I think, said she bought the Press and Go because it goes through the e-bosser, but I'm not 100% sure about that. What you need to do, if you're going to get in and invest in one of these machines, what you need to do is check what die cutting machine they work with. Now, if you do the Gemini, you need a Gemini Junior, I believe. So if that's the case, if you don't have it, you need to buy two machines. If you have a Big Shot, this works perfectly well with your Big Shot. So depending on the machine you are using, or you have, if you've got a die cutting machine already, try to buy a machine that works with what you have, because in that way it will be less of an expense. Now I'm just going through. I can switch this off, so I'm not doing it anymore. Going through. They tell you do it once. I do it a couple of times because I believe gives it a chance to cool down and stick properly. When you do it, you might need a little shim, but just go slowly. Don't go slow, because when you go slow, it gives the chance for your foil to kiss the paper and stick to it. So I'm going to take it out and see the result. done this many a times and it worked well, so let's hope this worked well too. There you go. I'm gonna leave that on there because I'll leave it to cool down. That one, can you see how it came? So now I'll just leave it a little while. It's still warm. So I'll just leave it a little while. Oh, there it goes. Look, as I went like that, automatically came off. Can you see how beautiful that writing is? So that is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm going to take this and put it on the side. I need to cut this. So what I do, again, I place my die there. I get my bit of press and I'll stick it on there. Take that out, bring my plate and I'll cut it. We're nearly there, ladies and gentlemen. I say ladies usually because my class are mostly ladies. Well, they're all ladies. Never had any gentlemen join my classes. So, I'm going to do that and I'm going to cut it straight through. I'm going to come back to make sure it's cut. That's my design done. Now, these all the way shortly. I'm going to get that off, and there you go. Look at that, how beautiful that turned out. Now, I put my dies back in place because I don't want to lose any of my dies. All is left to do, get my card and stick that message on the inside of my card. And as you can see, it does look nice. It does match up with my papers. Everything is so beautiful. I'll place it somewhere there. I'll have it in the middle, I think. Like so. And that's ready for giving it to someone for their lovely birthday. You can write their message here, you can write their message there, or you can write a message. I wouldn't write it on the front. So there you go. Happy birthday to someone special. I hope you did enjoy this tutorial or this how do I say, it's not really a tutorial, well, you can call it that, but I'm just showing you an idea of how to make an 8x8 card with a 6x6 inside it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do leave us a thumbs up if you did, and if you have not already done so, if you've already subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. If you haven't, please do subscribe. Maybe even tick the notification button, because that will help me do more of this work. Thank you, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.